Hello and welcome. In today's video, we are going to be talking about Halloween. I have broken Halloween down into 4 major stages. So let's begin. Stage number 1. In stage number 1, you're a baby and there's nothing you can do about it. What happens is your parents will probably dress you up in ridiculous outfits. Luckily for us, stage number 1 is the shortest stage. You probably will not remember this stage, but I guarantee there's probably pictures. So even if you don't remember, there's proof that it happened. Okay, let's move on from stage number 1. We don't want to talk about stage number 1 anymore. Let's talk about my favorite, stage number 2. Stage number 2 is the best stage in my opinion, and here's why. Now you're a child and you can make decisions for yourself. So you can decide what you want to be for Halloween. And the sky in your imagination is the limit, and your budget. But honestly, you can pretty much DIY anything. So really, whatever you want to be, you can be. You want to be a monster? You can be a monster. You want to be a superhero? You can be a superhero. You want to be a monkey? Be a monkey, okay? There is no right, there is no wrong. As a child, it is so fun to pick what you want to be for Halloween. And I was a child of the 80s, born and raised in the 80s. The 80s had quite the costume choices, let me tell you. The first memory I have of Halloween, and granted, I have a terrible memory, but I do remember this. I wanted to be a popple. Does anybody remember popples? Popples were these like space alien teddy bears that you can flip inside out. There was a cartoon and they had stuffed animals, and I had a stuffed animal. I think I had the yellow one. So I wanted to be a popple. Well, 80s costumes were a trip because they were so darn cheaply made. So basically an 80s costume had a plastic mask with slits in the eye holes and you could barely breathe out of it. And the costume part was basically just a plastic apron with the character outfit printed on the plastic. Does anybody remember this? I'll insert a picture. A little sad fact, not to bring us down, but I will say this. On Halloween, more kids get hit by cars than any other time of the year. So please be careful when you're trick-or-treating with your kids, or you're trick-or-treating yourself, or you're driving around on Halloween. Anyways, back to the fun part. So, as you picked your outfit, then, I don't know about your school, but in my school, we got to parade around in all the other classrooms and show our stuff in our costumes. And basically, do a Halloween catwalk. Amazing. Then, the special moment came where you got to go trick-or-treating and you got to get candy. Because when you're a kid, you can't just go to the store and buy candy like you can now as an adult. But as a kid, it was the one time of the year when you were actually allowed to ask strangers for candy. It's so weird if you think about it. But anyways, that was so fun. I have recently been hearing that some counties in my area are trying to mandate some sort of a law where, like, once you hit 16, you can't trick-or-treat anymore. And let me tell you why I think that's crap. Okay, first of all, different children mature differently. So some mature quicker than others. I don't think a county should be able to place restrictions on an age. Not only that, but how are they going to enforce it? How do they know if a kid is 15 or 16 or 14? Because it's hard to just based on looks. If a kid wants to go trick-or-treating and they put the time and effort into a costume, I say let them do it, no matter how old they are. They might be mentally delayed. They might just be a little slower maturing. They might just really like Halloween and trick-or-treating. Don't enforce this. This is ridiculous. Let them go trick-or-treating. It keeps them out of trouble. If they're not trick-or-treating, they're probably vandalizing or God knows what else they're doing. I know because anyways, but I can understand if kids are adult, like getting to become adolescents, and they just want free candy. And like, let's say a kid came to my house in just regular clothes asking for candy, right? This is what I would do. I don't have trick-or-treaters, but if I did, I would be ready. If this kid doesn't take Halloween seriously and doesn't dress up, what I would do is I would have these on hand at the door. For those kids, I would have caramel dipped onions. Yes, they look like apples. Let them take them home. Take a bite, honey. Next time, put a costume on or don't come to my house. Okay, but eventually stage 2 does end. Eventually, you will grow out of it. And that's when you hit stage 3. Now, stage 3 is pretty fun. Stage 3, now you are hitting puberty and it's not cool to trick-or-treat anymore. You're getting older, your body's changing, and now you're going out to parties. Well, as a woman, I can attest to the fact, let me just quote, or not quote, but if you've ever watched the movie Mean Girls, this is true. It is the one night of the year where a girl can dress like a slut and no other girl can say anything about it. Is it true or is it true? When I was younger, when I was in my 20s, early 20s, I went out partying and I dressed up and went to the Halloween parties. I personally liked becoming a vampire. Vampires are very easy. All you need is a pair of fangs. I went a little bit further though, and I got contact lenses, and I wore all black, skin tight, back in the day when I could do that, and I had a ball. I just like a side rant, a side tangent. Just give me this one side tangent. I never brag, but this is like a humble brag, okay? Because this never happens to me, I swear, it never happens. I used to work at Blockbuster, and what was cool about working there was we could dress up for Halloween because it's a movie store and you could be a movie character or you could do whatever you want. So I dressed up as a vampire. Now I toned it down. I didn't wear my party outfit. I just wore all black, kind of tight, but work black pants and a black top and the fangs and the contacts. And my friend, who to this day is still my friend, this was a long time ago, she was working with me that night. And let me tell you, I have never been hit on so many times in my entire life as I was that night. I don't know if guys have a vampire fetish or what it was, but it was all night and it was crazy. Okay, done. I'm never gonna do that again. It's not so much that I'm bragging, it's just that I was in complete and utter shock. I also had an old lady that thought there was something wrong with my eyes, and I had to tell her they were contact lenses. Anyways, stage 3, you party. And let me tell you, I don't necessarily think that I dressed slutty so much. I was sexy and a little bit scary. Like, some people that looked at me would be like, ugh, they were put off, and some people thought it was cool looking. I was kind of in between. If you watched Mean Girls, when Katie Heron, she didn't understand Halloween, the Mean Girl Halloween, and she dressed scary, whereas everybody else dressed slutty. And I was kind of somewhere in between that, right? But I saw so many girls that were questionably dressed. Like, I saw so much skin. It was something to behold. I was like, wow. Okay, I see what you did not wear there. Anyways, so this stage eventually ends. And then you hit stage 4. Stage 4, now you're an adult. And you probably have babies. And you take your babies and you put ridiculous costumes on them and you take pictures. And now you're starting that baby's stage number 1 in your stage number 4. Stage number 4 could also consist of you taking your kids trick-or-treating. It consists of you passing out candy to trick-or-treaters and maybe decorating your yard and your front porch and stuff for Halloween. All good stuff. Unfortunately for me, my stage number 4 is a little different. Now, I've had people tell me in the comments, I would make a great mom, and when are you gonna have kids? Well, I'm gonna address that right now. My husband and I mutually decided not to have children. And we made sure that we can't have children. So I appreciate everything you guys say about me and having kids and stuff, but it's no, we don't have kids. We won't have kids. So there's no babies being dressed up. There's no trick-or-treating. And where I live, you can't really see from the road, so there's no need to decorate. And I'm not gonna decorate if no one can see it. I'm lazy. And it's a good thing too, because if we lived where people could see us, I would pass out trick-or-treaters, and my yard would be the most decked out yard you can imagine. We would go broke. My husband is lucky we don't have a place like that. But what do I do for Halloween? I made it a tradition a long time ago, back when I was a kid actually, that every year for Halloween, I would sit on my butt, eat snacks, and watch scary movies. It's really no different than the rest of the year, but I make sure that I do watch a scary movie on Halloween. I watch scary movies all the time, and I listen actually at nights. I put on this sleep thing that has earphones in it, like headphones in it. It's like a head wrap, and I listen to YouTube videos of horror narrations. And that is my lullaby. Yeah. So my husband doesn't like scary movies, and I may talk about that in a different video. So I basically watch scary movies by myself. But don't feel bad, because I'm happy with that. So, did I nail the 4 stages of Halloween? Was your Halloween like mine, or was it different? Did you celebrate differently? I'd love to hear you guys' comments down below. We can see how similar or how different our Halloweens are. So anyways, thank you guys so much for coming and exploring Halloween with me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.